and welcome to Laptop Seniors. Pat and I did some grocery shopping in Panama, and we thought, like us, you might be wondering whether your favorite food and drinks are going to be there for you when you get there, or whether you need to bring a suitcase full of food. If you're curious, stay tuned.
Today's video is simply about groceries, the cost of what they are in Panama, and this was as of September of 2022. This is Ray. There's about maybe 3 major supermarket chains. They're big. They're everything that you'd ever see in North America. I mean, they're strong supermarkets. And the prices are really good, except for some things like this. Strawberries, $10.50, and that's not a big package. I've actually seen ones, they were like $25 for something a little bit bigger than that. Tomatoes, $1.23 a pound. I mean, that's pretty cheap. $1.82 for peppers, not that cheap. Lettuce, roughly $3 for lettuce, or if you get the romaine up on top there, it's $1.50. This is pork. Sourdough is pork, and 70 cents a pound. Skinless chicken breasts, $5.94. And basically, if you can't read that, it's saying $8.36 per kilo. Now, I probably should interject here, if you're looking at this from the States or somewhere where they don't have a metric system, a kilogram is roughly 2.5 times a pound. So it takes 2.5 pounds, to make a kilogram. So this is $8.36 a kilo. That's the cost of the chicken, okay, to get a kilo's worth. As you're looking at it, it's $5.94. So roughly, this is about 1.5 pounds of chicken. Skinless chicken breast for $6, 1.5 pounds. And this is with the skin on, and $3.68 again per pound, $4.29 a kilo. This is grass-fed hamburger, $4.78 a pound. Price per kilo is $8.16, so we get roughly $5. So this is probably about 1.5 pounds maybe in those packages for $4.78. Kind of tough to see here, but the lousy packaging. This is a steak, $4.21. Taking a look at coffee, there's some normal brands you would see all over the world, like Nescafe and Lavazza, but a lot of these are obviously local brands, or you see them in Central and South America, like Duran, and and a few of the others. But as you can see from the prices, the non-local stuff is going to be more expensive. Like, look at the top Nescafe, $9.25. The next one down, which is a bigger one, $17. And again, this is US dollars. This is US money. You could look at the other ones are like $5-6. This thing was a combo that would be, in your Parisia, or basically your barbecue. There's some hot dogs and sausages in here. There was some pork, and there was also some steak, and it was all $15. Here's a ribeye. This would give you a pretty good idea of, what a steak would cost. Now this is $10.99 a kilo, and this steak is $7.25. So I'm trying to do this in my head here, but so basically it's $11 for 2.5 pounds, and this is $7 worth. So you're, $1.5 pounds again, somewhere in there for a ribeye. And I can tell you this about the meat in Panama. We ate in a few restaurants where we had steak. We had steak where we did it ourselves. And the meat is really, really good. It's good tasting, and it's super tender. More tender than what we would normally get in Florida, or even in Toronto, unless you caught something that was really expensive. And obviously, this is not all expensive. $7 for 1.5 pounds of steak, that's a ribeye. I know in Toronto right now, that would probably be about $18, $19 Canadian, where this is $7 American. So $7 American, again, I'm doing it in my head, probably gonna be about, $9 maybe. So basically it's half the price of a steak in Canada, and it's good. Papaya, $0.50 a pound. Wow, that's crazy. 45 cents a pound for bananas. That's about 30% cheaper than at home. Cooked chicken, $6.20. Pretty much Costco prices for a cooked chicken. Bacon. I've found bacon to be pretty expensive. I mean, as you can see, it's almost $14, $14 or $13. Potatoes, 72 cents a pound. Avocados, $2.50 a pound. Oranges, $1.70 to $1.80. Eggplant, 91 cents. Carrots, 89 cents a pound. $1.12 for beets. Packaged carrots, a bit more. Eggs, now this is large size eggs, $2.29 a dozen. $2.15 for the mediums. Here's some of the butters, and the butters, depending on what you get, again, imported or not imported, it's going to make a big difference in price. As you can see up on top, $2.30 for the, homegrown, so to speak. And if you look down and, a little bit farther, $3.59 to $4.79 for basically the exact same thing, except it's imported. Taking a look at the cheeses, you got cheddar, $3.50, Gouda, $3.50, halloumi, $5.65, $4.99 for Kempfert, Havarti, $5.70, Brie, $4.65, $4.99. And when you're looking for juices, a lot of the juice is made right there in Panama, or it's coming from somewhere in Central America, so it's going to be cheap. $2.25, $2.50, $2.60 for roughly pretty much any type of juice. Your orange juice, grape juice, melon juice. Moving into coffee, I'm not sure if this is a local brand, although it may be made in Panama. I know we've seen this all over South America and Central America. Like we lived in Argentina and we lived in Uruguay for a while. You see this brand Duran. You see a lot of these brands. 1820 is new, I haven't seen that one. Sello Rojo, haven't seen that one either, but a lot of these brands, they're sort of all over South America and Central America, so let's just call them sort of local. They're not North American brands. And your pound of coffee, $6 or $4, or if you see the one Duran there, Puro, $3.50. Whoa, although it's probably a little smaller, doesn't look like a pound given the packaging. Instant oatmeal, $2.50 or $2 actually on sale. Cereal, here's the local cereals, roughly $4. This is sugar. If you're a baker, this would be a big thing. You got white sugar with the green packaging, and the brown is brown sugar. And roughly half a buck to $1.10, $1.20, depending on which one you want to get. Peanut butter. This is really one of those interesting things. When we were living in Argentina and Uruguay, it was almost impossible at any price to get peanut butter. It was just one of those things that just sort of didn't exist. You had to get it imported in, or if you saw it on a shelf in a grocery store, there'd be like, one little tiny row of, of something like Skippy. There'd be like 3 containers of it, and it would be like, $9 or something. It'd be crazy. And baked bread, out of the bakery at the stores, sort of like a baguette or something like that. There's no price on this, but if I recall, it was around $1, like $1.05. Something in that range. This is regular bread where, mantequilla is butter, and the other is medium bread, $2.70. Definitely cheaper than home. Spaghetti sauce was another one of those things that in South America, when we were down there, living there, it was really difficult to get and it was expensive. But here it's, it's sort of the normal prices, maybe a little bit higher depending on where you normally get your stuff. For Prego, Bertolli, Ragu, $4.60 as you can see, down to $3. And with that spaghetti, you're gonna have to have some pasta. Fettuccine, the really good stuff, Barilla, $5.40. And those would be the imported ones. Here's the local brands, quite a difference in price. $1.90 down to literally $1, 95 cents, or lower, even down to 60 cents and 50 cents. Huge difference there, imported to not imported. Mayonnaise, pretty high. Again, the local mayonnaise, kind of half the price. Gluten-free is a bit of a challenge in Panama. They do have gluten-free sections in the big grocery stores that we've seen. A lot of their stuff can be very much expensive, but then other things are not. Like, this pizza that you're looking at, when we're in a Publix in Florida, it's kind of roughly sort of the same price, give or take $1 maybe. And these are not big. They're sort of like one-person ones. Take a look on the right. See the Ray pizza there, chorizo? $3.75. Now, I'm not sure if that's gluten-free or not. I believe it's probably not, but you can see pretty big disparity here in price. Olive oil, the imported brands, $7 for 750 milliliters, $7.95. Carbonell, that's a bigger size, that's a liter. Also a Carbonell, we see this a lot in South America. That's a really good Not sure where it comes from. I think it comes from Spain, actually. But it's a really, really good extra virgin olive oil. Yeah, moving through, $1.50 for canned corn. Del Monte's pretty cheap. Need some utensils, 13, 14 bucks, some are $7.95. One of the things that I get familiar with this because of our time again in South America. I hate to keep mentioning that, but it's, it's sort of context, because I had never seen this brand, and if you're thinking about moving to Panama, you probably have never seen this brand too, if you're coming from North America. And this is like a Chinese brand or a local, anyway, it's super cheap. And I don't mean price, I mean the thing itself. This is not like your typical, hard steel pan. These are easy to bend, easy to dent. If you need something to cook with, fine, but they are not good. If you have a good set of pots and pans, like really good stainless steel, bring them with you, because this is what you get in a grocery store. Maybe in other stores you can actually get the really good stuff. This stuff, just to tell you ahead of time, this stuff is crap. Rice, $4 on sale, $4.50 not on sale, local rice. Chips. A lot of these prices has to do with the size of the bag. The $3.35 bags are definitely cheaper than the 90-cent ones. The 90-cent ones are, they're like a personal one. Like if you sat down and you had a glass of beer, you're gonna pretty much knock that bag down on one beer because they're kind of small. More chips, $3, bigger bags, and brands you probably don't recognize. These chips were actually really good. We were buying the non-recognizable brand ones, and they were great. Moving over to booze, this was prices for the 750 milliliter size bottles, not a full liter, and $8.50 on sale for Smirnoff vodka, Absolute, $21. And they run the gamut, as you can see up on the right hand side, $50, $66, $71. Not sure what they are. It's hard to read the label, but obviously it's good liquor. Patron. Peas and snaps, but I didn't see any prices on them. Obviously didn't get it in the picture, but just to show you that you have that. And some different things. Curcuma, which is turmeric, two something a pound. Coconuts, $1 something. Cocoa itself, those seed looking things there in the bottom middle of the page, 43 cents to $1 a kilogram. Wow. And squash, kilogram, $3.15. Acorn squash, $2 a pound. Lechuga, this is regular lettuce, head lettuce, $1.45. As I'm recording this right this moment, we were out shopping yesterday, and in the grocery stores here in Toronto, that head of lettuce was over $4. It was like $4.25, $4.30, somewhere in there. $2.85 celery. And some meats in the butcher section, not pre-packaged. Chicken breast, skinless, $8 a kilo, $3.63 a pound. Cucumbers, that whole pack, $2. The other pack, $1.30. These peppers are roughly the price that you would see typically that I'm used to seeing in Canada. Usually at Costco or any of the regular stores in Toronto, you'd get 4 of these for basically $4. So basically a buck each. So here they're $3.26. And this is American money, not Canadian money. So in a way, it's actually maybe a little bit more expensive for peppers. Remember I was telling you earlier I saw strawberries for like a ridiculous price? Well, here it is here, $21.50. The strawberries are, what does that say, 29, roughly 30 ounces, so a little less than 2 pounds. Oh, maybe that's not that bad. Actually, if it's 2 pounds, and it's really only kind of around $11, so it's not crazy high. It is just flat out high. Cooked shrimp. There's no price on this, but as I recall, this was a pretty good price. I remember because we got one and it was like, okay, that's a pretty reasonable price for shrimp. Good looking shrimp. Sargento shredded cheese, $7. Silk, $8 a quarton. What do you normally see for $4 something back home? Pork and beans. I don't know if you can read that, but the Campbell's pork and beans, $1.62 a can. $2.40 a can, $1.30 for Van Camp's. Oh, okay, there we go. Now you can read a little bit better. $1.68 for the peas. Cane sugar, pretty much $5. Lacanta monk fruit sweetener. This is always high no matter where it is, whether you're in the States or here. I think this is only a little bit higher than the States because we get it at Costco. in Florida, and I want to say it's like 14 bucks at Costco, so it's not crazy. It's not a huge jump. Milk. This is regular milk. You'll notice it if you're not used to it that it will not be refrigerated. They have them in these containers and they just be sitting on the shelf. And for the milk, the regular milk, it's right in the middle. The lactose intolerant is the ones on the left, and the ones on the right are partially skinned, which you can actually read it. It's in English, and these are quarts, so it's $1.77 for a quart of milk. Coca-Cola, 1.5 liters, $1.50. Mac and cheese, $1.76. Local brand of spaghetti, $1.50, $1.75. Gluten-free, $5.68 to roughly $5. So for regular spaghetti, with a local brand, we've gone from $1.50 to gluten-free, $5. That's a big jump. That's a way bigger jump than you'd get in North America. The imports, local gluten-free, not an imported brand of gluten-free. Pretty much all the spices were $3.90, although they are organic spices. Again, if you like to bake, here's flour, $6.50. That's for Pillsbury, an import, or $2.50 if you want the local brand. Kellogg's Frosted Flakes, $7.30 for a box. Or you could get some local brands and you're in the $3 range. And if you like pancakes or waffles, you obviously got to throw some syrup on it. So here's some sugar-free Log Cabin, $3.50. There's a big one for $5.50. Look at on the left there, cinnamon apple syrup. Ooh, that would be good. $5.80. I think that's a local brand, although it might be imported. And then there's the other brands which are in the $3 range. Cake mixes are interesting. $2.61 for like a regular kind, Pillsbury. But if you want the gluten-free, $8. Once again, as I mentioned earlier, hamburger, really good prices for meat. And it's local meat. We were talking to one of the cab drivers, and we were asking, like, where's the meat come from? And they said some comes from the States and Canada, North America, but it's a very small amount. Most of it comes from either in Panama, one of the other Central American countries, or it comes from Argentina or Chile, which has, Argentina has great meat. So does Uruguay. Uruguay, Chile, Argentina, meat comes from there. It's dino, super dino. But also Panamanian meat clearly is really good because we've tasted, chewed it, and all that sort of stuff, and it's superb. Local brands of ice cream, these are like the small packs, these are not the big ones. They're comparable if you wanted to a Haagen-Dazs, it's $7.41, so $5.50 to $7.41 local to a Haagen-Dazs, or even Ben & Jerry's. Or you can get something bigger, $8.95. Waffles in your toaster with the Eggos, and this is $4.35 for an Eggo, being an import, or $3.65 for the local version, which is probably the exact same thing, typical of like white label stuff. Yes, they do have Jimmy Dean's sausage, egg, and cheese biscuits. Well, you got to pay for them though, $8.20. Chicken nuggets, local brand, $3.30 for the bag. Empanadas, chicken, $6.85, big bag. And French fries, Ore-Ida French fries, waffle fries, crinkles, fast fries, roughly $7. Onion rings, sweet potatoes, puffs, $7. And again, this is bacon, a pound of bacon. It seems expensive to me, although I haven't bought bacon in a while. Back to the butter. One little tub of butter, $4 to $5.75, or if you actually want the typical stick butter, $4 for this is an import, and obviously $4 to $3.50 for the President's. One of the things about that butter though, that is not a pound of butter. That's like a half a pound of butter for $4. So the pound of butter is actually going to be roughly somewhere between $6.50 and $8.50. Pre-done ricotta tortellinis, and the one on the right is mushroom ravioli. $3 to $3.50. Hummus, $4. That's pretty much like at home.
It's really helpful if you would hit that subscribe button and the little bell so you'll get a reminder to come back and see us again soon. Adios.